Hello, this is Dan Vlamis. I'm with Vlamis Software Solutions, and we are going to talk today about Oracle Data Visualization Cloud Service. I'm really pleased to be joined by Alan Lee from Oracle's Product Management. Thank you for joining us, Alan.
Thanks for having me, Dan. Very excited about today's topic.
Yeah, so this is great. We're going to actually show some live demo the Oracle Data Visualization Cloud Service and go through a little bit of background so you can understand where these things fit. This is, this is what we're going to go through today. We'll go through a little bit of IOUG, BIWA, and Vlamis background at the very beginning. I promise we'll keep that short. Then we'll do just a very quick demo just so you can understand what this product, it shows so well. It's much better to actually showcase the product rather than doing everything via slides. I don't know about you all, but I get tired of everything being slideware. Then we'll go to a little bit of background on Data Visualization Cloud Service, where it stands, how to get your hands on it, that type of thing. And then we'll give a more full demo that shows you how to build things yourself on this. During the broadcast, if you'd like to ask questions, you can use the chat box or the questions box. This should be on an side panel on the side. If it gets in the way, you can click on the little orange arrow to minimize that, and then that'll also bring back the control panel so you can ask a question of this, and Alan and I will be monitoring the questions panel as we get going, and we'll be able to show this. So let me go ahead and go through a little bit of background on Vlamis Software Solutions so you know where we're coming from on this. We were founded over 20 years ago. We've developed all sorts of BI systems, and we specialize in Oracle-based data warehousing, business intelligence, data visualization. Indeed, my brother Tim and I are co-authors of a book on data visualization for Oracle Business Intelligence 11G. And with that book, we go through a lot of the best practices. And I think what you'll see is a lot, it's based on answers and dashboards, of course, for that. And you'll see that a lot of the things that we go through in that book are covered in the 12C release that we've given on this and this Data Visualization Cloud Service background on that service. So we're thrilled to have a lot of that in there. We give presentations all the time. We're also beta tester for Oracle products and such. This is in a series of webcasts on various business intelligence related topics. I came back from Oracle Open World to say, hey, we got to be able to share a lot of this with other people. And so we went through a list of Oracle BI 12.2.1 new features, excited with the 12.2 release of this. We also gave a scoop session. We gave a session just on upgrading from BI 11G to BI 12C. This is now the Data Visualization Cloud Service. We're pleased to be kind of part of the launch and showcasing what this is within kind of a week of when this went live to the rest of the world. And then we're also, you may be interested in a webcast that we'll be doing on the 12.2 new features. We decided to go ahead and repeat that. We've done that with every release of Oracle BI since 11.1.1. That came out with the 11G release. And you'll see more information. You can sign up at vlamis.com, papers 2015. So with that, one other thing is a plug on BIWA Summit 2016. If you like these types of topics, you should seriously consider attending this conference. It takes place at Oracle headquarters in the Oracle Conference Center out in California, and we cover BIWA is business intelligence, data warehousing, and analytics. We are a special interest group of the IOUG, the Independent Oracle Users Group. If you're interested in that conference, we have about 100 sessions over a 3-day period covering all sorts of topics about BI and analytics. And we're also joining with the spatial SIG of IOUG. You'll find all the information out at biwasummit.org, including the list of sessions that you could attend if you come to the conference. With that, let me go ahead and switch over and show you a quick demo of what this looks like. I generally like to do it at the beginning just to give the audience a sense of what they're going to be in for before we give the background. What we're seeing here is actually a demo that was produced previously for a company called Style Retail. And you'll see it starts out with a map of the San Francisco area where they have locations for this, and they're going to look at the opportunities that they have for this. So let's go ahead and go through this. We'll jump into something, Data Visualization Cloud Service, where a presentation has already been created. And then if you see, this is looking at sales by their various campaigns, a fall clearance campaign. You'll see some of the features as we just play through this in terms of as you hover over various bubbles, you'll see that all the visualizations are automatically linked. If we go to another type of visualization, another panel, you'll see that you can have even tree maps as a new type of visualizations that been added in the 12 environment. And as I hover over various pie slices and such, you can see that all of these are linked. And it has some very nice features that's kind of enforced by this grammar of graphics type presentation. If we go into an edit mode, we can actually see how this will come together. And as we change the and zoom into a various visualization, you can see we can change the size and zoom in on a specific line of this. We can also grab from the list of columns and see sales by week, for instance, and drag over and change on the y-axis, change this to by stores. And now we're looking at sales by stores. All this is happening automatically as part of the out-of-the-box functionality. If we then select Great Mall SJ as one of the values and add a new visualization that kind of duplicates, and then we can change that by changing responses and total items, change that as the measurements, and that changes that now to look at, instead of sales, we'll look at total responses and total items by stores. And as you hover over one, the other one is selected as well. If we right-click on a value and say keep selected, it drills into that specific value. And everything actually comes out looking very nice. So we can change the type of presentation to a pivot table, for instance, and then add more rows to look at top baskets. We'll do this as part of our full live demo of this and add more stores so you can even remove some of the filter values and change that to be non-filtered. You see the filter is up on the top. Now we're looking at top basket sales by stores. We can also come in and add an additional data source. Perhaps we had some inventory data in a separate spreadsheet that we've uploaded previously, and now we're going to add that to the presentation and look at specific columns that we want to add. It's going to automatically join these, and we'll look at the warehouse, product line, and inventory and create a visualization with those types of values. You're going to have two on the screen at once. Now we'll look at inventory by product line and warehouse and see those values, how they compare. So that just gives you a quick overview of what that looks like for Oracle Business Intelligence. So just wanted to show that to you so you can see what we can do with the product and give you just a quick example of what that looks like. So with that, hopefully that piqued your curiosity and you can see some of the capabilities of what you can do with this. Data Visualization Cloud Service, then backing up, was announced at Oracle Open World in October of 2015. It's available now, and see either myself or your Oracle rep if this is something you say, hey, this is something we'd be interested in using at our company. You can certainly get your hands on it, and it's actually pretty cool. I've been doing this, as I said, it only launched within a week or so, so I haven't been using it that long, but I've been pretty impressed with the capabilities of it. The pricing of it is at $150 per user per month. There is a 5-user minimum when you get that, so it allows you to deploy this in just a departmental type basis. If you want to just try it out, it is per user pricing, and it's all hosted up on the Oracle Cloud. Some of the goals then of the Data Visualization Cloud Service include to be able to provide data visualization capabilities on all platforms. So this is a goal, this is kind of a direction that Oracle is heading, where this is actually being bundled into other products that Oracle is coming out with. So for instance, at Oracle Open World, I know they were talking about this being part of Oracle Sales Cloud, and bundled in that is some of these types of capabilities. It provides then access to cloud data on premise. They're trying to make everything available via cloud or on premise if you want to load software yourself. on a mobile platform, on a PC, everything, so that you can look at with multiple different devices. It's very simple to use. It's geared especially, DVCS is especially geared towards end user departments. Whereas you may have companies, I'm guessing a lot of the audience is probably familiar with Oracle BI, and you'll find I'm going to kind of rely on the fact that people are already familiar with Oracle BI and familiar with BI Cloud Services, BICS. And really just builds on that, but this is geared especially towards end user departments. Has some visual stunning, the content looks very nice, hopefully you saw that in the demo. And the big thing with this is you don't need to create a model. You simply upload your XLS files and go. So you'll see this in the full demo that we go through, and there is no RPD on this. On the point of this working on mobile, let me just quickly show you. This is just too much fun not to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just to prove the point, I've got actually an iPhone in here that I'm going to showcase to you. And let's go ahead and show what that looks like. This is running on my iPhone, and you can scroll around. You can see it's a really small screen on here. But if I just tap, for instance, on this amount by close sales, you can zoom in, look at this, go back, that type of thing, scroll this around. It's a lot easier when it's in your hand than opposed to on a desktop. But it does work on the mobile platform, and I didn't get a chance to play with this. There's even a BI Ask capability on this, so that you can talk to the phone and the software will respond much better than trying to type on these things, just to give you a sense of this. So just wanted to show what that looks like. Some of the technical details on this. It has some similarities to BI Cloud Services. And so you'll see a lot of what it builds on is based on BICS. You can load the data via Excel, XLS files. For those of you that have been using BICS, you'll see that that you just upload data in the same way, and there are automatic joins between multiple Excel files. And if you have the same column name, it does that automatically. Otherwise, obviously, if you call account, if you call the column account in one place and customer in another place, you're going to need to specify, hey, those are the two the same thing. But otherwise, it automatically joins. It does have a limitation of 50 megabytes, which from what I've been playing with is fine, of your XLSX files. And so you can just upload large files in there, and you're really uploading to the cloud, and then from then on, it runs directly from Oracle's cloud services. You can also share the visualization between users. We've done that at Vlamis Software, where I have created various visualizations and then shared them with other users in our same account, and they can bring that up. You can give them either read or read-write access to your visualizations you create. It runs on the mobile platform, and it basically just uses the same URL. I'll share with you one of the things I looked at was, okay, how do we end up doing this? And the answer was very simple. With that same URL that you use to when you get your cloud account, you just enter that into your mobile device, and it just works. And that's all I had to do. There was no setup I had to do to my browser, any software to load, any of that. So for now, and that's the way it works in trying to run with a separate URL. I did go over some other options, by the way, in our previous webcast when we talked about some new things coming out from Oracle that were announced at Oracle Open World, but I'll leave that aside, and you can look at our scoop session if you want to get more into
Dan, just to add, just to add regarding mobile and then basically pointing to the same URL. I think the interesting thing for us is we've used adaptive design techniques. So, based on the device that you're accessing the URL, with the experience is quite a bit different. So,
yeah, it seems to change some of the things to optimize for the platform you're on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for jumping in. And anything else, Alan? Correct me if I have something wrong, or if expand on what I'm saying. That's great.
No, just one more thing. I just want to, from a comparison to BI Cloud Service and between BI Cloud Service and Data Visualization Cloud Service. I think that the biggest point is that the BI Cloud Service is really our Oracle's full BI platform on the cloud. So it has all the answers and dashboards capability. It has the data viz capabilities. And it's really targeted, as Dan mentioned, to really the IT department to help business users build up an analytic application, whereas Data Visualization Cloud Service is somewhat of a subset of the capabilities within the BI Cloud Service. It's really the database capabilities and really a service that allows end users to start using the service without any hand-holding, and that's the key difference.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a slide on some of the differences coming up next. But thanks for jumping in there. It also has some automatic brushing. You saw that in the demo, and some much nicer, in my opinion, intuitive filtering that I'm excited to see. It eliminates a separate criteria tab that those familiar with Oracle BI, you have criteria tab and results tab, and kind of blends things together in a much more modern user experience. Some of the differences that Alan was alluding to from BIX, for those of you familiar with that, this is targeted to the end user department, not the IT. It also costs less. And so if that's something you're looking at, that could be great for rolling out to different departments and users that just need really this type of interface and not the full answers and dashboards experience. It does load directly from spreadsheets, and it is in the current release spreadsheet only. Eventually there'll be cloud services and other types of data sources that you can come to. Alan, anything you want to add from there from a future standpoint? I promised I would stay more with current technology instead of talking about futures, but anything else to add on there? Alan, I think you're probably on mute or had to step away. All right. So for now,
I'm sorry, Dan, I was on mute. Yeah, I think that the main thing here is that we want to embrace more and more data sources with DVCS as well as BIX. So as Dan mentions, SAS sources is really an interest area for us. We see DVCS as a good complement to our Oracle SAS products. We have a lot of interest in users wanting to pull in data from local databases that are accessible via JDBC connection and use that within the DVCS experience. The other thing that I'd add here is that the intention really is to provide equivalent data viz capabilities between DVCS and BIX. So going forward, starting in early 2016, we expect to have equivalent functionality from a data viz standpoint between DVCS and BIX, and that going forward as well.
Yeah, some of the things that you'll see in the demo is the ability to add insights and a presentation mode. And so we're kind of excited to see that added to BIX as well. In some ways, you get a preview of what it's going to look like with DVCS. Also, one quick little difference as I looked at them was that DVCS has a single instance, whereas BIX, since it's targeted towards that ID department, has a separate prod and test instance that you automatically get that you can then move things back and forth. DVCS is a simpler deployment model where you don't have two different instances that you are going back and forth between. So that's kind of some of the differences from BIX. With that, let me go ahead and jump into a fuller demo, unless there's anything else, Alan, from a background. And it shows so well, it's kind of a shame not to make a lot of the points by showcasing the product. So let me transition here. I've got this loaded with Data Visualization Cloud Service here. And if I expand that to full screen, you can see what we can do to create a new project. So I'm going to come up here and just create a new project. I have some data sources you can see already loaded, but I'm going to go ahead and upload a file. And this is the way you're going to start for any of your projects. You're going to select the file and come in here, and you can see I've got this set to go to where I have these. I'm going to click on opportunities. Let me show what that looks like. I kind of like showing the background of this. This is my Excel spreadsheet, and this is opportunities copy.xlsx, a file that I have on my local system. You can see it has up at the top an opportunity ID, the win percentage, what's the percentage we think we're going to win this opportunity, when it was opened, the name, the account, the amount of the opportunity. So this is standard sales pipeline stuff. When is it closed? You'll see we'll use that a lot. The sales stage that it's currently in, which ones were won, and so forth. And then this goes down for, I always like to know how big is the data source I'm working with. This is 4,000 rows that I have loaded in here. Not teeny tiny, but certainly not large either. So I can showcase some of this. As I said, you can go up to 50 megabytes with this thing. So we're going to go ahead and select that opportunities copy and open that thing up, and then add that file up there. It's uploading literally as took that long to upload. And we're going to see, you'll see in here, here's the same columns, opportunity ID, win percent, open date, and so forth, as we go across the screen. Notice it will notice that it thinks of this as a measure, the opportunity ID, and rather than showing these as summing them up, that makes no sense. I'm going to go ahead and keep that as a measure and count them so I can count the number of opportunities that I have, kind of a different way of using this. The win percentage would make no sense to sum up. So I'm going to change the aggregation method to just an average of the win percent on this. It notices the open date, and because of the type of columns this is, it's noticing and guessing that these should be attributes of an opportunity, which in this case is correct. And it's guessing that amount, because it's a number, is going to be a measure. And indeed, that is a measure like on a facts table. That's the amount of this. And so it guesses on each one of those. You can drop down and change these if it guesses wrong, which is a nice little feature. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and create the project for this. All right, so now that added that to the panel of columns that I can choose from. You'll see it looks a lot like BIX and, for that matter, Oracle BI. I'm going to go ahead and add another data source, and I'm going to go ahead and add let's upload an accounts file. I'm going to skip the step of showing you what that looks like in Excel in the interest of time, and add accounts in here. So that you can see I'm going to upload that file. It has a match. It's already determined that account is a column name on both of those spreadsheets, so it's going to match them. You can also change that to an attribute and what column you want to match that on, that type of thing. These are some additional information about each of the accounts, such as the primary contact, the contact phone, and so forth. And then this is automatically, by default, going to extend the dimension, in this case the account dimension, to include these additional attributes. But you can change the way this works as well. I'm going to add that to the project as well. Access point, and I can add a new calculation, which is my calendar date. Let's go through with month, add that in, and we will have a close month. Highlight the expression, and then add in close date as part of that, validate that, and then save that away. So I knew also this stuff happens very quickly, so I knew something was wrong. I'm going to go ahead and select amount and close month and add those as a visualization that we're looking at. So now you can see amount by close month. It picks automatically the best visualization for that given set of choices. So it thought a horizontal bar graph was best for that. And we're going to change the visualization type to a stacked bar for this, because that's the way I want to see it. And I'm going to go ahead and add, I forgot to include sales stage, and let's add that as a color. You know, it's kind of interesting, this grammar of graphics that Oracle is using is kind of become an industry standard. So rather than thinking of this as what it's clustered by, it's really, well, let's use it in terms that make sense to the users, such as color. And in this case, you can see the pipeline on the last, it looks like we have data for 6 months in here. The month 7 is different from all the others. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I want to show you what that looks like for a filter condition. To filter something, you simply drag it up to the filter bar, and it filters it automatically. I can also, as well, go ahead and add all of these, and for instance, then just remove the 7th month. And it automatically does that. If I click off of it, you can see how it collapses very nicely for that. And that's how I can remove and look at just the last 5 months. As I hover over each one of these bars, you can see it highlights the differences between these. So you can see what it looks like. This is capabilities that are in BI Cloud Services right now for that. So you can see what those changes look like. Now, for instance, one of the new capabilities in DVCS is the ability to capture kind of an insight for this. So let me go ahead and turn on the Story Navigator. I'll add an insight, and I'll put in here as the name of this, for instance, I'll put in here, this is amounts for last 5 months by sales stage. And it's interesting that Oracle chose to call these insights. And what it does is it allows me to put in here not just a name of something, but also, in effect, notice that September is especially high. And it's kind of, I think of this as the insights that you see looking at this. It's not just a saved report. This is what insights do you see by having this special type of visualization. All right, so now I can look at something else. Let's say we want to look at the win percentage, the amount, the account. And what I'm doing is I'm control-clicking here, and then if I right-click and select Create Best Visualization, it'll create an additional visualization that will give me the amounts for each of the win percentages. And do that as, because I chose 2 different measures, the best visualization that it's choosing for that is a scatter plot of that data. So it's showing you the amounts and by win percentage as we look at this. As I hover over each one of these, you can see what changes in this, and I can even, if I want to link these are automatically linked. If I add in, for instance, close month into this, and look at this by color of close month, for instance, these will be linked, and as I look at them by close month, as I hover over here and select these, it'll change this visualization, which is a nice capability. And they're automatically, if you've had to do this in Oracle BI 11, you'll see you have to do a lot of plumbing, if you will, to make that happen compared to the way this is done automatically. I'm going to go ahead and just undo that. I don't want to include that in the visualization for later on. One of the advantages in here in Visual Analyzer in 12 and in DVCS and in BIX is the ability to undo your edits, something that I know I was really pretty excited to see when it was added to the product. So let me go ahead and change this, though, to unlink these 2 visualizations and turn off synchronization. Because one of the things I want to do, you'll notice it added a new filter tab to all of these that you can then change when you unlink them. And now I can right-click this and specify that this visualization is going to be used as a master, and we can then drive this visualization based on this one. So now if I look at the, for instance, just click on the presentation, what's that doing in that stage? Notice as I hover over these changes, but if I click on that specific portion, it filters this other visualization automatically by that and specifies in the filter condition that this is for close month 8, which is what I clicked on, and for presentation values for that sales stage. I can then take this visualization and switch around where it appears in here. Perhaps I want it below the other graph or in its original location over here. So it's very nice for laying out the screen how you want to see this. I can also swap this around, the control panel of how you want things to appear. Maybe I want the amounts on the x-axis, and notice the stuff that appears as I drag that around. Now I've got amounts going across and win percentage going up and then I can add another additional insight in here. If I click on this plus, and I can say that this is, for instance, the scatter of win percent by account. And then I can say most of the values are low amount opportunities. Okay? Put that in. Now, one of the things also that's added in here is the ability to select those opportunities that are especially high. I can marquee select these, and instead of having to specify, okay, let me go in the filter criteria and specify all those over who knows what, I want to see those data points. So if I then marquee select those highest values and then right-click and specify keep the selected ones, it's a much more visual way of selecting what I'm looking at, and I can remove those or add those. I didn't want to remove them. Let me undo that. This is the type of stuff you run into the real world. I can keep the selected ones and then just look at those and add, change this now to a table. Let's zoom into that. So I'm looking at just that visualization, get rid of the other one temporarily. And now I can change the type of visualization to a, for instance, a table for here. And now I'll look at that data for just that table. And I can come in here and add, for instance, if I expand the accounts now in here, I can add the primary contact and the contact phone, for instance, and add that directly to this table if I just simply drag it over here and add those to the data source. And so now we're looking at a table of the highest specific accounts. Let me add that as an insight that allows me to specify I want to look at a table of highest opportunities. And we can
and Dan, this is a great example of extending the dimension. So basically what Dan did was previously he had added the accounts data which extended the account information that's in opportunities, and essentially behind the scenes these are getting joined together and providing the additional attributes on the accounts.
Yeah, and what happens in the real world is you have these opportunities. Well, it would not make sense to have the contact and the contact phone necessarily on this sheet. So the ability to extend a dimension and link to something else is very nice that it's in kind of the first release of this and makes for a very nice presentation. At the end of this, then, if I want to save this project, I can save this away to the catalog, and I can say, put in here that this is the TechCast demo, and save this away with a description. This is stuff that you're probably already familiar with, Oracle BI and in Bix. There's the ability to do that, but these insights, then I can play them differently, separately, as I page back through these and look at, okay, what else did I create on here, and page through the various insights. That gives you a sense then of what we can do with these with Data Visualization Cloud Service, so you can see what this looks like. With that, let me flip back to the slides and come back and show you a little more of some other things that you can do with this. All right, so we went through the quick demo, some of the information of it. Let me also tell you this is part of a series of webcasts just mentioning with the new features. The scoop session we went through includes a little more forward-looking and kind of a fun look at Oracle Open World. Also upgrading, if you're interested in that, upgrading from BI 11G. I should mention that if you are interested in BI12C and BICS, you're going to need to be on the, that runs on the 12 release, of course, on this. We're in the live demo, and then if you want to see what some of the new features are specifically of 12.2, which will include, by the way, some of this data visualization cloud service and a live demo of the visual analyzer portion of this, the data visualizations that are new in the 12 release. We'll go through. So you can sign up for those, and you will find recordings of all these up on our website at that URL that you see on your screen. If you like this type of information, come to our conference. I happen to be the conference chair for this, so it's near and dear to my heart at bwithsummit.org. There'll be about 100 presentations on this type of stuff, all live, 3 days of full content. With that,
correct me if I'm wrong, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. But you're going to have a hands-on lab on some of this.
Yeah. Thank you, Alan. We'll have a hands-on lab with this information where you can actually get your hands dirty with this, try it out, not just on BICS, DVCS, but also other products as well, including advanced analytics and all sorts of presentations. Bring your laptop. Because you'll want to try that out, and you can actually even justify it kind of as a training type of visit. So the abstracts are out on the website. You can see all the great stuff we have at bwithsummit.org. I wanted to put up some resources that you can look at. Feel free to send me an email, talk to Alan about this stuff, send him an email. That information was on the title slide up here. Also on the resources slide, information on Be With Summit is here. If you want to look at this more, there's cloud.oracle.com, data visualization, or just Google it. The documentation, by the way, is out there as well. I went ahead and provided a link directly to that. I don't know about you all, but sometimes I just want to look at what some of the capabilities are, and the doc does a pretty decent job of showing you what you can do. As well, there are a lot of demos out. And a great source for those is from Oracle BI Tech Demos. This is the same team that puts together Sample App, if you're interested in that. And if you just go to their channel, there are a lot of demos, including if you click on the Videos tab, a little tip that I found, if you click on the videos, you can find the ones that are not indexed directly from the page. And that's where I found a lot of these DVCS demos, indeed the one that I started out with. So take a look at that, and you can see what some of the capabilities are. With that, let me go ahead and see what questions we have as we go through this, and see what. And then I'll repeat. If you want to ask questions on the side with that little orange arrow, you can put out a panel, and then you can ask questions either via chat or there's a questions tab, and just ask your questions. Alan has been handling some of those as we went through, but let me go ahead and see, Alan, what else is there that we need to cover?
I think we've hit all the ones that are on the chat.
Yep.
Oh, well, here's one more. A question about the upgrading from 11G to 12C. It looks like it's directed to review.
Oh, okay. Is upgrading Oracle BI 11G to 12C going to be repeated? Right now, I do not plan to. If there's enough demand, of course, we'll be happy to repeat it. I will tell you it is available in the recording. So if you go to Vlamis.com, let me just go ahead and show it so you see how easy it is. Okay, so if you were to click up here on Papers, this Presentations tab, I go to 2015, but you don't even need to. It defaults to that. Come down here to the bottom, and here's the upgrading from BI 11G to BI 12C. If I click on here, just click on that play button, and it'll start playing in the embedded viewer. And then you can even, I think once it starts playing, take it full screen and look at it on YouTube. We upload these to YouTube so people can look at it. So it should be available. Any other questions that people have? Otherwise, if not, I'm going to go ahead and start working on closing the webcast. I found that people have to find the button that allows them to ask the questions. And so we'll allow you to find that button and then ask questions.
Well, Dan, I do want to send my thanks for presenting this topic. It's really something that we at Oracle are excited about, and hopefully those in attendance are excited about what we're delivering. And again, if you have any questions, certainly reach out to myself or Dan.
There was a question on how you get to Sample App. This is what I do. I just Google Oracle BI Sample App, and this is where it is to download right here. It came out literally today. You start downloading these zip files, and you can have Sample App all for yourself, including here's a step-by-step demo on how to deploy the release and showcases a lot of the capabilities of 12c. So it's a great resource. There are hundreds of examples in here of how to use 12c. So thank you, Alan, for joining us. Really appreciate you stepping in and helping me out. And with that, I'm going to thank the audience for joining us, and go out and try. If you want to know more about it or want to get your hands on it, contact us or your local sales rep and get started.